On the 4th day of September 2005, 6 years ago, Doris Miyoli was diagnosed with breast cancer. 2 months earlier, while in the shower, Doris had felt a lump in her left breast. She didn't think much of it then and only opted to have the lump looked at by a doctor later. The doctor insisted on running tests that very same day, and the diagnosis was breast cancer, which was discovered at an advanced stage. What did you feel at that point, and what was running through your mind?
A mix of emotions. There was disbelief, there was fear, panic. It's like for a few seconds there, you go through a million thoughts in your head, thinking, gosh, I'm gonna die, wondering how long I have to live, thinking about my boys, now what's gonna happen to them, they're gonna be left alone.
Having separated from her husband, Doris could only think of her two sons, Derek and Brennan. How would she break the news to them? She wasn't prepared for this. She felt like she had literally been given a death sentence.
A lot of times people wait to feel some pain. You know, maybe you feel a lump and then you're like, but it doesn't hurt, so I'm sure it's nothing. But actually, cancer, when it begins, doesn't hurt.
Finally, she broke the news to her family and plans on treatment began. Doris says her sister offered to host her and her children during the course of treatment.
When I started feeling sick was now after chemo, because that is basically poison which they put in your system to kill all the cancer cells. After the first one, I remember thinking, oh, that wasn't so bad. You know, maybe the things that people say about chemo are not so whatever. But by the time I got the second one, it really hit me. Sickness as in nausea, another weakness, lethargic, that is just, you can't explain it, and it's like you can't do anything about it. You will your body to do things, but you just don't have the energy. Lost my appetite, so I lost a lot of weight. Then the changes now started coming, losing my hair, my nails turning black, my palm of my hands, my feet, all those physical changes. And then as time went on, you know, like the more you get in your system, the more you feel the effects.
Doctors recommended at least 6 chemotherapy sessions, surgery and radiotherapy.
It's very, very expensive. At least for me at the time, it was crazy expensive. I used to pay between 70 to 100,000 for one dose of chemo. So and you get them like every 3 weeks. So every 3 weeks I have to chuck this money.
It was hard, she says, but through support from her church, her employer at the time and family, she was able to pay for the treatment.
There's people who actually opt to live with it and eventually die because they just don't know. I mean, it's a choice between, do I put food on the table or do I go and get medicine? And for them, it's like, there's no guarantee I'm going to live, so I'd rather put food on the table and then, you know, at least I can take care of, I'll die.
It was a difficult time for her, and she says many are the times when she felt like giving up.
There were some points that I'd be like, okay, enough. I'm tired of the needles. I got to hate needles. I didn't want to see them. I'm tired of as the chemo is going in, somehow it's like you smell it, but from the inside. It's a really strange thing, but I'm like, I'm tired of that smell. I'm tired of having to open my shirt for people to, you know, for the doctor to keep checking, and just this whole thing. I'm tired. I want my life back. I want to go back to how things used to be. And there was a time I was like, you know, I'm just tired of fighting this. I want to go.
Doris advises caregivers of cancer patients to be patient and understanding.
And like for those who are looking after somebody, I would say biggest thing, allow them to be themselves. Allow them to be.
On the 8th of July 2006, almost a year after being diagnosed with cancer, Doris was declared cancer-free.
One day comes and your treatment is finished. You finished your chemos, you finished your everything, your radio. I was still taking pills for 5 years after that. But that was nothing compared to what I'd gone through. It's like suddenly, okay, so what do I do with my life now?
Today, Doris has diverted her energy to an initiative called Twakutukuza Trust, where together with her friends and associates, she raises funds for, among other issues, treatment of persons living with cancer who are unable to afford specialized health care.
I'm involved in music. I've been involved in music a lot of my life. And I thought I'd put together some musical thing and use some of the songs that had been ringing in my head as I was going through this, songs that were encouraging me, and have a concert of these songs and invite people who were unwell or needed encouragement to come for this concert, and we'd sing to them, and they'd feel better.
At the time when she was unwell, Doris wrote down what she was feeling because there were times she felt like no one could relate to what she was going through. And today, those thoughts and feelings are captured in this book titled Ashes to Beauty. Tell me about your book, Ashes to Beauty. What inspired you?
Some people ask me why the title. I feel like I had my life. I thought I had a good life. Why? Yeah, I thought I had a good life. But through this experience, through my marriage breakup, my losing my health, losing my looks with my hair and everything going, I felt like everything that I had been new about myself got burnt up completely. But it didn't just all die. It died, yes. But out of that, something beautiful came up, because the person I am today is very different from who I was before. Even my relationships with my siblings, with my children, with my friends, it's just so much richer.
Doris feels more can and should be done to create awareness and make available specialized health institutions, especially for persons living in rural areas or the underprivileged. Do you think enough is being done with regard to awareness on breast cancer or cancer in the country, and can more be done?
More can still be done. Especially in the rural areas. You wait, now we're in October, there'll be a lot of breast cancer, and then come end October, we get into November, and it goes quiet.
Live on purpose, she tells us. That is her motto today. Some words of encouragement for women or men who may be going through an experience similar to what you went through. What would you say to them?
Cancer doesn't spell death. Not in every instance. Not necessarily. Sometimes we could even switch off and end up dying when we didn't have to. Or you're told you need to do 6 chemos. By the second one, you're like, I can't do this. And you give up, and the cancer gets worse and you die. Maybe if you'd just hang in there and done your full 6, you would recover.